And welcome to the weekly show.
Hello.
I am Chuck.
And Bonnie. And we have some cool guests today.
That's right. We're, of course, it's that time of year. It's the big August where everybody is going away to school, whether they're freshmen or sophomores, have been there before or maybe haven't. And so we thought it'd be a great show to be able to talk about what do you have to expect, or what do you need to do, or when you go away to school as a freshman.
What should you bring?
What should you bring?
What should you not bring?
What should you not bring? What should you focus on? How do you do that? I mean, it's really the first time for most young adults where they're separated from their families.
For an extended period.
For an extended period of time, yeah. And it's like, all right, you stay here, and they leave. It's like they drive up there, they open the car door, they throw a bag of chips out, it's like, go get that, and they close the door, drive away. Like the cartoons, drive away.
I guess it depends on how much they like the kid.
Yeah.
Don't like you very much, you get the generic chips. Like you a
That's
lot,
right.
you get name brand.
Right. An empty bag. They just wadded up some paper towel and threw it out there. Go get it. They ate it on the way up while you were sleeping.
Yeah.
You didn't know it. So we have two guests with us. Matt Berentsen, who is a new freshman. He's going to be going away. He's actually interned with us over the summer. And Wayne Meyers, who's assistant principal. And we kind of thought that we would kind of get their take on what they thought. I mean, my mind is all over with what you would do now as a freshman just going away. I mean, it's just, for me, it would be, I don't like change. So.
No.
I don't like change at all. So for me to go somewhere and just stay here would be like, I think my first year would really stink because I'm not, able to focus. It's all so different. What are you expecting, man?
I mean, I'm excited. I like change. I'm different that way. I like getting a change of scenery. I wanted to go away to college for that reason. Like, get a new feel for a different environment. So that's really what I was hoping for.
What about your family? You want to get away from them too, or no?
Well, I'm going to miss them, of course, but it's going to be cool to be by myself, like to be living on my own. I mean,
right.
I think it's going to be a different experience. It's something that I need to.
So kind of in a way you're getting out of the house without actually having to pay for getting out of the house.
Exactly.
Well, kind of.
I have to pay, but later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to pay yet.
Not yet.
Got that old ball and chain you drag around called government loan.
At home with your parents, do you share a room with anybody, or you have your own room?
No, I have my own room.
So now you have to go into sharing a room with someone you don't know.
Oh, really?
Actually,
the dormitories, they do that?
Yes, two people to a room.
Yeah, they do, but I got lucky. My friend's going up to college with me. So
you
we
got to room
scored,
together.
and we're getting to room together.
Oh,
so.
that's true.
Very lucky.
Oh, yeah.
Very lucky indeed.
That's really lucky.
Yeah.
Do you have suite mates, though?
What do you mean by that?
Do you have one bedroom attached to other bedrooms with one major living area?
No, it's just us in a double dorm. So it's just the two of us, and I know how he is, he knows how I am. So we were able to. I think we're going to be able to live together.
So you lucked out.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, this will either be the beginning of a terrific friendship or the end of your friendship.
Yeah, I've been saying that a lot. We'll see what happens.
You find out a lot about people when you live with them.
Definitely.
So now, as being assistant principal, Wayne, you probably deal with a lot of kids going away. So
I do.
How many questions do you field from kids that want to know what it's like or what they should expect?
Well, we don't really have a lot of questions from the ninth graders because they're still acclimating themselves to the high school. But as they get closer to graduation, they start to think about school, and they start to come up with many kinds of questions pertaining to academics, independence, career, and how their academics are going to feed into career. And we don't always have the specific answers that they're looking for, and there's not always a specific answer. So sometimes general advice is best, unless the student knows specifically where they're going and what they're looking to accomplish in college and after college.
Like goal-wise, what they're looking for as far as career goes.
Correct. And the thing is that so many students wind up going away to college or even staying local and changing their majors because they think that they're interested in something, and then when they start taking classes towards it, and this could happen to you, even though you seem pretty set right now, and I'm not saying that you're not, other opportunities, other academic opportunities will present themselves, other fields of study, and they decide that what they wanted wasn't necessarily what they wanted, and so there's it's not unusual to see a change of major from students within those 4 years, extending the college experience and increasing the student loans.
I guess especially for freshmen too, because sometimes they're really unsure on what they want to do.
Well,
They have a
I know I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was 31, so I spent a lot of time in college. But yes, freshmen don't know what they want to do, but it is a great opportunity for you, Matt, to take advantage of the fact that there is so much diverse academic offering in the college setting. And even if there are classes that you don't think that are necessarily something that you're interested in, it would behoove you to take at least one introductory class in those areas so that you can know for certain. You always have the ability to withdraw within a certain time period and make sure you do, but see it through, because you don't really get a feel for something until you've actually stepped into the water.
Yeah, well, I think Matt did a great thing by, deciding he wanted to be in this field, which, can be a troublesome field at times. But at the same token, he actually came in and worked with us for a summer and went on a couple of different shoots and things like that. So you got a feel for it. But, there's also the good times and the bad times.
Yes.
When you're interning and volunteering, it's a lot different than when you're actually hunting down a job and trying to figure it out. And, it can get difficult.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm sure working with you guys was a lot of fun, because I know that you guys are a lot of fun, and you made it very comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not going to necessarily find that all the time.
Right.
And so there are going to be challenges. But, there is something that I would like to say to you, which is very important for freshmen going to college for the first time and being away from home, as was mentioned. One of the things that is very important for you to think about is time management. Yeah. And most high school students don't really think about that, because they're living home and the alarm clock rings, whether it's in the form of the alarm clock or the form of mom screaming to get out of bed. That alarm clock rings and the bus comes in and picks you up and you go to school. In college, you're completely responsible for that on your own. And because there is so much new stuff coming your way and so much opportunity for you socially, academically, that you can easily get overwhelmed. So the thing that I'm going to suggest to you is that you stay very focused on time management, and make sure you start your work early and get it in on time, because once you fall behind, you fall behind. Yeah, and it's very hard to catch up within a semester. Yeah. Because you don't have the opportunity of many tests like you do in high school, or many papers or many projects. There's a midterm, there's a final, and maybe a test here or there in between. Yeah. So you don't have the opportunity to increase those grades based on your work. Mm-hmm. If you screwed up one exam, it could make a big difference in your GPA.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good dry run for the real world, because time management's important no matter what you're doing.
It is.
I always thought that, in high school, they make you go out and get that marble notebook. Mm-hmm. Did you ever notice that?
Yes.
And you got to write all your assignments down in the marble notebook. That's basically your time management right there. That's your scheduling and your time management. They're trying to teach you that.
Well, you're dating yourself, because nowadays kids walk into the classroom and just take a picture of the homework off the board.
I've done that plenty of times. I've definitely done that.
And there you go.
Yeah, living proof.
There you go.
Exactly. And put it in their phone so they can, little reminder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
Big time.
But somehow those reminders don't go off and they come into school without the work, which, again, I suggest don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's a very different ball game. Academics are taken very seriously, and I think that what you're going to come to learn when you go away to college, as opposed to being in a high school, and it really doesn't matter what high school you're in, the high school is a community. Yeah. And I'm not saying that college is not a community, but the high school is a community that you've grown up in and that your family lives in and your friends are in for all those years. And so there is somewhat of a bubble that you've experienced, and you don't realize that until you go away, when that bubble disappears. Yeah. And you're living, although in a community, but not so much a bubble. And so the demands are going to be more stringent on you, and they're going to be greater, and there's going to be less leeway and less forgiveness. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a lot of tolerance. For,
Yeah.
No, it's true. I didn't go away to college, but I did go for a little while. I didn't finish, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I do remember the first semester going, what do you mean you don't care what was going on in my life? I couldn't get it done because of, and they were like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it was a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I would think it's definitely a culture shock.
It is.
What have you heard about college? I mean, you've heard stories. I mean, give us the
of course.
scoop. But the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well, I mean, you hear good things, you hear bad things. Like I have a girlfriend who was in college. She was a freshman last year, so I was able to visit her, and I did get a kind of first-hand feel of what college is like. I mean, there's sometimes like you're trying to sleep, and it's 3 in the morning, and people are outside screaming, running the hallways. You just hope to God that's not your case when it happens, but it will. And then she's grown, like she's made more friends, like you witness new things. Like I'm really excited to like have the opportunity to try more things and to be able to meet new people. Like like you said, it's a community that I've lived in for so long. I'm excited to reach out and meet new people, a different kind of feel
people,
of new community.
In your meeting of new people, I'm going to suggest also that you take advantage of your professor's office hours and allow them to get to know you. And even though Monty's story is true, they're not really going to have a lot of forgiveness for you if you, if you slack on your responsibility. But you could be in a lecture hall with 100, 200, 300 kids.
Yeah.
And the professor will never know who you are unless you actually make the effort to go into the professor's office during office hours, introduce yourself, speak somewhat about what happened in class, and let him just get to know you so that he can put a name to the face.
Yeah,
and it can make a difference. It can make a difference in at least when they're grading you. And if you do need an extension and you go in advance as opposed to showing up without the work on the due date.
Yes.
And in the real world, we call that networking.
Yes.
Make sure when you give them your business card, you look them in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Yeah.
Well, don't do that in college.
Yeah, no. That's
Very
You go
true.
in advance.
Yeah, we did that at the racetrack, but you don't want to do that in college.
no.
No. Yeah, there's also all the pitfalls you have to be careful not to fall into as the freshman. The drinking
of
and
course.
you have to be careful.
Yeah. Well, I'm not into the whole party scene, so
Good.
that's where.
Good. I know a lot of people got into trouble.
Yeah, no, I stay away from that stuff. So hopefully.
Yeah, I'm
it remains
guessing
that
that's
way.
going to be a lot of what's going to be going on until people kind of flesh out what they got to do and get a
Well,
little
yeah.
acclimated, right?
Statistically, the first year of college is I don't want to say the worst, but the least productive academically.
Yes.
Right. That's
And there are a lot of factors in that. The newfound freedom, the time management, there are a lot of factors in that. But for the first time, a lot of students are free.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Free at last.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you kept someone or something in a cage and you give them freedom, they really don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of, as Bonnie is saying, there is a lot of overindulging in that first year. And it's good that you're not into that. But we don't know if your roommate is yet.
Well, yeah, he's, like I said, he's my friend. And,
Yes.
He's very similar to me. We're very alike, which works out great because, I know I don't have to worry about him coming back with like a bunch of people and getting drunk or smoking or whatever. Like, I know like he'll be cool just hanging out and chilling and watching Netflix. Like,
Well, you seem to have a good head on your shoulders, so
Yeah.
that's good.
yeah, that is good.
And you have to be careful of the, who it is you befriend.
yeah,
And
Yeah, I guess that's another thing too. I guess in a way, when you do friend people, you gotta kind of keep your distance a little bit just to see who they are, what crowd they're hanging out with. Not necessarily party wise, but academically. They could bring you into a crowd you might not want to be in.
very true.
And I'm sure that there's so many people at the school that they're coming from every angle, you know.
Well, yeah, I think I learned a lot about that in high school too. Like who is someone you want to be surrounded by and who isn't. Like, you know, I think when I was younger, I didn't have as good as a idea of who is a good person to be. But as I grew up, you kind of know who you want to be surrounded by and who's a really good friend who actually cares, like you do well, and who doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
So.
He must have been a great intern.
Yeah,
He's got some wisdom going on.
Yes. Yeah.
This is a good thing.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. I think we'll take a break now.
Okay.
And we'll come back and we'll have some more conversation on the going away to college.
Yippee.
Sounds good.
What to bring. Beer,
And
man.
not to bring.
What not to bring. Be back right after this.
It's always been important to us to have music a part of our lives, part of our children's lives. At Village Music Shop, Bonnie and Chuck have not only made it possible for our kids to learn and understand and read music and enjoy playing a musical instrument, but they've also made it fun.
I really like coming here. I like coming to Village Music because everybody here is nice.
And they've inspired some creativity and imagination and taught them discipline. And along the way, they've gotten some self-confidence, really been like a part of our family.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
Hi, my name is Aaron from Real Big Fish.
And I'm Ed from Real Big Fish.
And you're watching the Inravio TV network.
And welcome back to the weekly show.
Hello.
So we're discussing the going away to college, and maybe first time, maybe second time. You know, what kind of things you need to know. What's going to help you sail right through your 4 years there and do the best you possibly can and come out on top.
Stay home with mom. That would help you to sail right through.
Stay home with mom.
Yes.
No, there's a strong argument for that.
Yes. If you want to sail right through, that's the way. But it doesn't teach you anything about being your own person.
Being on your own, yeah.
So, are you packed? Are you ready to go?
I mean, I'm probably not going to pack to the night before because that's how I am. But I definitely
Spoken
have.
like a true student.
It's actually the way I travel too.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, I
Yeah.
have clothes that I still want to wear at home and stuff. But as far as like appliances and like, I didn't do school supplies too much yet because I still want to figure out what I need, and then when I'm up there, I can definitely, you know, especially textbooks. Like, you don't want.
I understand you can rent books now.
Yeah, so hopefully
That's cool.
Hopefully it's significantly cheaper.
No,
Maybe just a little bit.
a little bit.
So,
From what I understand, it's a little bit cheaper. It's
Yeah.
kind of along the lines of buying used books,
yeah, it's basically it.
but
you
it's
know.
still very expensive.
It's
So
like,
really, they don't have them in the tablet, huh? At this point.
some do.
Some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but others don't, and that's where the money goes. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you know.
So
An athlete's finger just scrolling through the
yeah, exactly.
tablet and the textbook.
Hey, it'd
So
be
you have to
easier.
bring like everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you don't have to bring a refrigerator, but
No.
it definitely helps. Like,
Well, yeah.
because you know, when it's 2 in the morning and I'm hungry or whatever, or if I'm, you know, I have an early class, I'm not gonna be able to stop at the dining hall. I can make cereal real fast or just something to snack on, so it's good to have,
So you get 4 walls and a ceiling, that's it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe a door.
Sometimes.
And 2 beds.
Two beds.
Oh, you get 2 beds?
Yeah.
And a
2 beds.
desk. And 2 desks.
Slightly better than a cot, but yes, you get.
Just a tad, yeah. You definitely want to buy the foam padding to help.
Yes.
Those things feel like prison beds, as I learned when I went to orientation.
Yeah.
So that'll get you ready for a career in,
In the jail cell.
in a jail cell.
Yeah.
How was orientation for you?
Orientation was cool. It made me a lot more excited. Like, I was already super excited to go, and then to spend a night there, like, it felt more realistic. And, I made friends up there already, so now I have more people to look forward to seeing.
And what
So
did
the
they
people
cover?
you made friends with, were they people that you're going to see when you go up?
Yeah. I
Same
hope so.
dorm?
Yeah, I don't know if they're
That's
going to be in the same building as me, but, like, I know a couple of them have the same classes as I do, like, because we all scheduled there at the same time.
Right.
So we were able to, like, hang out and learn about each other. So now I know who's going to be there, like, what to expect.
Feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you schedule for 5 days a week of classes?
Yeah, I try to keep Friday out of it, but it's just
You
impossible.
weren't able to.
Yeah, but I'm done by like 10:30 on Friday. Which
Yeah,
is bad.
I remember racking my brain trying to figure out how to keep
Yeah.
Fridays open.
It was hard.
Sometimes I got lucky, sometimes I didn't.
Yeah, it just didn't work out this time.
Yeah.
So hopefully next time.
Well, what class is it that you're taking on Friday?
It's my communications 101. It had to be the one.
Of course.
Yeah.
But were you able to keep them all close together, though, your classes?
Yeah, I have them pretty, not tightly packed. Like, I do have space between certain classes, which is good. Like, I have like a lunch.
But
decent
nothing like
lunchtime, yeah.
enormous.
Nothing huge. Not like, one class at 9 a.m. and then not another class at like 4:30. Like,
I had
everything's
that.
in. Yeah, I
I
couldn't
had
do that.
one at 9:30 and one at 6 p.m.
Oh, yeah, see.
And needless to say, I never made it to the second class.
Yeah, I made sure to like have it in a decently like close schedule, almost like similar to high school, but a little more spread out, just so I can be done by the afternoon. And I plan on getting a job up there, so I can take the nights to work. So I have some
Time management.
Yeah.
Do you have any assignments for any of your classes when you walk in on the first day?
No, I was surprised. I didn't get anything.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm very surprised because I do have a couple of friends who did have to do that, but so far I've gotten nothing. I check my email every day just to make sure.
And when you're in class, raising your hand and saying, well, Chuck would do it this way is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't think so. Kick me out real fast.
Who is this Chuck you speak about?
Yeah.
Get in an argument with a professor.
Yeah, I don't think that would do.
Skype me in, they'll put the TV behind the
There you
curtains
go.
with the smoke like the Wizard of Oz.
Should get a t-shirt. What would
Pay no
Chuck do?
attention.
Yeah, what would Chuck do?
There is something I do want to just point out to you. Since you're going into a major and you are set on that,
Yeah.
you still don't know exactly how that's going to pan out in terms of employment,
Yeah, of course.
or if you're going to go for further education. So as you're going through your 4 years, starting with this year, it's really important for you to keep in mind that you want to create as much option for yourself as possible.
Yeah.
Because options and opportunities really is going to lend itself to you being able to have the kind of life that you want to live. So you don't pigeon yourself into one small, box
Yeah.
in your major, and expand the horizons. And even within your major, I'm sure that there are minors that will complement it.
Yeah.
And so you want to take advantage of that as well, so that you can come out of college with whatever credentials you might need to go into any kind of graduate program that will lend itself to further education
Yeah.
and your earning potential.
Well-rounded.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I plan on that. I mean, like, your first semester, they don't give you as much of a leeway as, like, where you want to go. Like, right now, I'm just taking, like, as far as my major goes, Communications 101, and that's it. As I progress, I start to choose a focus, and then I can also pick a minor, and I plan on it. I'm going to
Excellent.
definitely explore where to
Some different
focus
areas.
on, and
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
well-rounded, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I always felt that that's a great way to go because you never know.
Yeah, of
And I'm sure you see, from where you're at there, Wayne, that the kids are going all over. You see them going into one area specifically? Is that bigger than another, or are they all over the board?
A lot are going into business. There's a lot of kids go into business, but business itself is so vast, And I don't think that they really have a game plan as to what they're going to do in business once they enter into the to the college.
Just kind of like a quick cure-all.
Is sort of. But I will tell you this: what I'm hearing from you is very, very reassuring, because it's not unusual for kids to go away to college and after the first year wind up coming back because it was too much for them to handle, the freedom, the choices, the partying, and so it really is a testament to you that it sounds like you have your head on your shoulders and that you're focused, so that you'll only be coming back for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and to have your laundry done.
Or to work for Inravio.
Or to,
or, you know.
Yes, exactly.
He's already got some dates planned.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But no, it's. I think that it's. I guess it's tough because you really do want to go away and have fun too.
Yeah.
But really, you need to focus on what's really the most important thing. So the fun is fun. You can hit any concert anytime, really. But ultimately, this is the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And all kidding aside, I know the way I would be. I would just be, the way I'd be. Not too much fun. I'm pretty serious when it comes to doing things and, getting things done. And that's why we progress pretty quickly. But yeah, if you're going away to school and you're in the unknown, you really have to put that extra focus on it just to feel out where you are. And you may not even feel out where you're, what kind of extra time you have, maybe even for 3 or 4 months or 6 months. I don't know. I don't know how long it would take.
It actually takes some students the full first year to feel acclimated and comfortable. Many parents that I work with in the high school whose kids have graduated and gone on to college, in that first year they're calling me up, or I'm seeing them at meetings or social events, and they're telling me that the kid wants to come home. And my advice is to unless there's a dire need for them to come home, just stick it out. And by the end of the first year, they get comfortable, they acclimate themselves, they're in the groove, they have a routine, and so they don't want to come home anymore. At which point you see the parents doing this.
Yeah. They don't have to lock the door and move to Mexico.
Or buy another bag of chips.
Exactly it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that because you're going up there and especially if you're going to get a job right away, you don't know how much time you're really going to have free time.
And I'm hesitating to get a job. I'm definitely going to need one. If I do want to have a social life and I want to go out, I'm going to need one. I can't be calling my mom up and be like, oh, I need $100 for this. It's just not going to happen.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but she's going to say no. That's how
Well,
it
I
works.
think, getting acclimated first and just seeing how much extra time you do have before you pile in all these things and get overwhelmed.
Yeah. And
that would be my
You'll
thought.
be surprised. You're going to spend a lot of time in the library.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You're going to spend a lot of time in the library.
Yeah.
And the library is open till all hours because it has to be, because students are in there till 11, 12, 1 in the morning.
Yeah, try and finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm, like I said, I'm going to feel it out for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to try to focus to try to get on-campus jobs, because, at least they know you're a college student and they can work around your schedule a little bit more. They're a little more
Plus you can't have a car.
Yeah, and that's huge.
As a freshman, so.
Getting away, yeah.
Exactly, and it gets cold up there, so I don't want to walk too far.
No.
It'd be rough.
Now, why did you pick the college you picked?
There are a few reasons. On paper, it looked good before I even went there. They have a very cool teaching style. They're connected learning, they call it, which it's more real-world situations. It's not much lecture hall, more hands-on, which I really like that, because I'm a doer. I learn more by doing than reading or listening to someone talk about it for an hour and a half.
Right.
And then they're a smaller school, which I liked. Classrooms are maxed out at 25 people, I think. So you're not just a number. At least you're a little bit more face-to-face time with your professor. And then when I actually went to the school, you kind of get that feeling all right, this is somewhere I could definitely live on for 4 years, because it's got to feel almost like home. As much as it's a school and a place to work, it's also where you're going to be relaxing, where you're going to be hanging out with friends. and it felt like a home. Like it felt like somewhere I could be for 4 years. And then after meeting faculty and other students, like I was very comfortable with the people I was going to be surrounded with and living.
Yeah, that's important, especially if you're going to, you know, be studying there and working there, and you know, the last thing you want is all the extra added stress when you're trying to focus on studies and what you're doing. You know, even if it's in the back of your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those little things, boy, they really get to you and sidetrack you.
How many schools did you visit before you made your decision?
I only visited 2, but only for the fact that I fell in love with my school. Like right off the bat, it was like my #1 choice, and I
So you knew
really
immediately?
Yeah, I knew immediately. Like that was the school I wanted to go into, and I always had like the fallback plan. I always like said, you know, if I don't make it, I can do community college, which is nothing wrong with. But like, I knew where I wanted to go, and I put a lot of work and effort into making sure I went there.
You know, the show is about going away and what to expect and what surprises there are, but you just said something, and I would like to just make mention that community college is an excellent opportunity for students who are unsure, because they do get to stay home.
Yeah.
They do get to do their main classes, you know, the core curriculum, work while they're home, save money, mature for another 2 years, and then when they finally do transfer to a 4-year institution, they go with a greater purpose. They go with some money in their pocket. They can focus on their major as opposed to figuring it out at $30,000 a year or more.
Right, yeah.
So it is a great opportunity and a great way for many students. But you know what you want to do, and you found a place that sounds like it's going to be home for you. So this is perfect. It sounds perfect.
Yeah, that was my mindset. Like if I didn't know what I wanted to do, like if I wasn't sure what I wanted to study yet, I was like, okay, I'll do community college for 2 years, and then I can figure it out. But I knew where I wanted to go. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what my major felt right to be. Like, and the school just fit. So like, I got lucky enough where I did find a school that I can spend all 4 years at.
And how far is your girlfriend from there?
She's actually goes to school in Massachusetts as well. She's about 45
Gee.
minutes. No,
That's a surprise.
That was just a collateral
a lot
benefit.
of people say that. No, yeah, you hear that a lot. But it actually just worked out because it's just a school that I did fall in love with real fast. Like, yeah, it did happen to work out very well, which is cool.
But it's good that she's 45 minutes
Yeah, of
away.
course.
You need that separation so you can focus on your work.
Yeah, of course. So, you know, we're not right on top of each other, but we're also not like 4 hours away from each other anymore.
Right.
So it's a cool.
You can still visit, but you're not interrupting each other.
Exactly. You know, you have weekends.
It's a good security blanket, too.
Yeah.
If you need somebody, you always got somebody there. So.
Yeah.
She's not that far away.
Yeah, she's got her car up, so like, you know, if there was an emergency where I need to get home right away, you know I can trust her to help me out, and yeah, so it's gonna be good.
Sounds like it's going to be great, actually.
And I told him, I says, go up there and do 4 years really quick. Do it in like 6 months so we can get you
Get it
back
done.
in.
But you want to make sure. I mean, and, yeah, you're very focused, and you seem to be like, this is where I'm going. Don't forget to have some of the fun.
Oh no, yeah, trust me, I intend on having fun. Just, you know,
Screw the fun. Get it done and get back here.
No, you have to. You have to. You don't want to be looking back 20 years, 30 years from now.
Yeah, and
going,
regret it.
You know, I don't have those same friends that everybody talks about, the college buddies or whatever. You want to, you know, have some of that fun.
Hey, he's already been to Woodstock.
But not during those days.
And he remembered it, though.
Yeah.
Really.
So they didn't do it right.
That must be
I guess
another
not.
story.
Yeah.
We actually had a shoot, and we went up to Woodstock because it was the anniversary of Woodstock. So Matt went with us for that shoot as well.
Yeah,
That's
an
pretty
interesting
cool.
people.
It's an interesting place.
It is.
I was too young to be there at that time, but I did go up to, am I allowed to mention a band? The Dave Matthews Band?
Oh.
I went up there to see them. It's a great place to go to a concert.
Yeah.
But Bonnie's right. Have fun.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Get the whole experience.
Yes.
No, yeah, I intend to. You know, I think I'm pretty good with that. Like, I know when it's time to work and when I can kick back and go hang out with friends. And
When you wind up in a tree outside in your underwear, you go, okay, I got everything.
that's it.
Went
So
a
you have to take
little too
step
far.
This might be a little bit too
Yeah,
much.
that's where it's
This
like-
might not be Chuck approved.
So you gotta take a step back and reevaluate and be like, all
That's
right,
right.
maybe I should, you know.
Let's take stock. Where are we
Yeah.
at right now?
What's my name?
All right, so we'll take another quick break.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll be back right after this.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Hi there, this is Buddy from Less Than Jake, and you are listening to Inravio TV. You're probably watching it too.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop. 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Russ Welly. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're punching the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
This is Joe Larson. You should check out the 505 on Racing Show live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or catch us on video on demand anytime, 24/7, only on the Inravio TV network.
And we're back. Welcome back to the weekly show. So we had a great discussion about going away to college, first year, second year, right?
Absolutely.
And we want to thank Matt Berentsen
Hey, thank you.
for coming in. We wish you the best of luck in your
Absolutely.
first year in college. I'm sure you'll do very
jealous.
well. Yeah, I'd go do it with you again.
Hey, come on.
Be like Rodney Dangerfield.
There you
Hey,
go.
Ming, it's a parking lot.
School.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
You set up a nice air mattress for you. I mean, great. Yeah.
Hey, I could do it.
There
Hey,
you go.
Ming. I could do the diving thing.
Oh, jeez.
Great movie. And Wayne, thank you. Wayne
My
Meyers.
pleasure. Thank you for
Thank you.
having me
Appreciate
here.
you coming. And you're guiding all of these kids all these years. How many years you been at that school over there?
In this school, 12 years, 20 years in education.
Wow.
Yeah.
So thousands of kids you've guided into adulthood.
Hopefully, I've guided them appropriately.
The right way.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully they listen to my words and
Some needed
follow
some
my
extra help.
actions. Yeah.
Had to smack him around a little bit.
Yeah. But that's not on camera, so it never happened.
That's right.
Behind closed doors.
That's why you use a phone book. I appreciate you guys coming in.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So join us again next week on the weekly show and Wednesday, 7 p.m.
Until then, see you later. Bye.
Take care.